Have you ever started building or rebuilding something only to face opposition almost immediately? Maybe you decided to rebuild your relationship with God. Maybe you're rebuilding your finances after a difficult season. Maybe you're rebuilding your confidence after heartbreak. Maybe you're rebuilding your family, your career, or your health. And just when you thought you were making progress, the criticism came, the discouragement came, the resistance came. If that's where you are today, let me encourage you for a moment. When Nehemiah heard that the walls of Jerusalem were broken down, he didn't complain about what had been lost. He asked God for wisdom, and then he went to work. He had a vision. He had a burden. He knew what God had placed on his heart. But the moment Nehemiah started building, opposition showed up. Sanballat, Tobiah, others who mocked him, questioned him, and tried to discourage the work before it was even finished. Sometimes people don't say much when you're doing nothing, but the moment you begin moving towards what God has called you to do, resistance appears out of nowhere. Please know that not every critic is your enemy. Sometimes people bring corrections that help us to grow. Sometimes God uses wise counsel to refine and keep us humble. We should always have a teachable spirit, right? But the kind of opposition Nehemiah faced came to stop him. The kind of opposition that mocks what God has called you to build. The kind of opposition that tries to convince you to quit before you even seen the fruits. And so one thing I love about him is that he didn't defend himself. He didn't abandon the assignment. He simply declared, the God of heaven, he will prosper us. Therefore, we will arise and build. Nehemiah understood that you don't have to answer every critic. You don't have to explain every step. You don't have to convince everyone, that God spoke to you. Sometimes the greatest response to opposition is to keep building and staying quiet. What I had to learn is that the enemy doesn't waste much time attacking what isn't moving or building for the glory of God. Very often opposition is a sign that you're making progress in it. So if you've been in the process of building or rebuilding, please don't stop now. Keep laying one brick at a time. Keep praying, keep trusting, keep showing up, keep leading, even when the process feels slow, even when people don't understand, even when the voices around you are louder than your own confidence. If God gave you the vision, he will also give you the grace to finish what he started. Philippians 1:6 says that he who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion. That means God is committed to completing your story. So maybe today God is calling you to pick back up what discouragement made you put down. Maybe he's calling you to rebuild what fear convinced you was beyond repair. Maybe, just maybe, he's reminding you not to let someone else's opinion become greater than his calling, because what God has called you to build, he intends to establish and complete it. So arise and build. God bless you. And until next time, keep trusting God and keep growing in him.